Ukraine's military says its air defences in Kiev have been engaged after Russia launched an overnight drone attack on the capital. Elsewhere, Ukrainian officials say Moscow's shelling in the Sumy region has killed 2 people and injured 4 others, including a 2-year-old girl and 8-year-old boy. 20 homes were hit in the border province, with at least one of them destroyed. Ukraine launched its incursion into Russia from this area a month ago. Soldiers on the front line say they're under constant threat from Russian drones and missiles.
We have the strength, but it's like the 300 Spartans who held off the Persian horde. And we have the same thing, little Ukraine versus big Russia. And somehow we hold on. If not for drones and missiles from Russia, we would have defeated them immediately.
Many towns and villages in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region are now almost deserted as a result of fierce fighting. Russia insists the cross-border raid has failed to slow its advance near the strategically important city of Pokrovsk and claims to have taken another settlement in the area. Ukraine is repeating calls to allow it to use long-range weapons from the west.
The main thing for us now at the beginning of autumn is to strengthen the position of Ukraine, protect our cities and villages from Russian terror, and of course provide more opportunities for our soldiers at the front. This includes Pokrovsk, Donetsk, Kursk and other areas where Russian forces are heavily concentrated. I thank every brigade and every unit that is holding their ground. This week has brought new agreements on ammunition for Ukraine, on finance for the production of weapons, drones and missiles in Ukraine. Air defence is a constant priority, and we continue to persuade our partners at all levels about long-range capability.
In the central eastern Ukrainian city of Poltava, the victims of one of the deadliest strikes in Russia's 2.5-year-old war are being laid to rest. 55 people were killed and more than 300 others wounded at a military training facility. Friends and family have paid tribute to the dead.
He was killed by an enemy missile. He left behind a wife and 2 small children. From the beginning of the war, he volunteered for the terrorist defence, then signed a contract. He was preparing to go to the front.
We are losing people who were worthy of living in the Ukraine we want. They are the Ukraine we want to see.
Moscow is now being forced to fight in its own territory as well as across the border. Plumes of black smoke have been seen rising from a fuel storage site in Russia's Belgorod region. The Kremlin says a Ukrainian drone attack is to blame for the fire at the facility. Elsewhere, 2 NATO members, Romania and Latvia, say Russian drones breached their airspace before crashing. Officials from the alliance denounced the incidents as irresponsible and potentially dangerous. There's no indication if it was a deliberate attack. And as the war drags on, the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz says both Russia and Ukraine need to get to the negotiating table.
I believe that now is the time to discuss how we can get out of this war situation and towards peace more quickly than it currently seems. There will definitely be another peace conference, and President Zelensky and I agree that it must also include Russia.